Hey, what's up? I'm going to show you how to do a pistol squat from beginning to end. And what I mean by that is if you're a beginner, all the way to executing it. Can't guarantee how long it'll take you, but this is what you need to do, all the in-between stuff. First off, you need to know how to squat, air squat, all right? Three major things you need to do in a squat. Keep your back relatively straight. Keep your knees and toes lined up. Most people forget this part. And then make sure that your femur, the thigh, is parallel to the ground. Squatting, you can see my back is relatively straight. Femur parallel to the ground. And this part's a bit hard to see. My toes and my knees lined up, pointing the same way the entire movement. Most people mess this part up. And when they're going up, their knees come in a bit low like that. Doing that is a really good way to mess up your ankles and your knees. So as best as you can, keeping these out in line with the toes. If you have issues keeping them out like that, you can put a band around your legs and that'll force you to stick them out some more. If you can't do a basic air squat like that, then work on that first. But after you do that, the next step would be a split squat. So basically, just stand about shoulder width apart with your legs. Put one leg forward, one leg back. There isn't an exact distance to this. It's more about what's comfortable for your body. So feel it out. And what you're going to do with your back leg is get on the ball of the foot and you're going to move, keeping your back straight. You're going to move straight down with your torso and you're going to have your legs be at about 90 degrees. Now, when I said you're going to feel out the distance between your feet here, I mean, if you do this, it's going to feel comfortable. So you're going to feel it out naturally. You're going to do it properly. Go up and you go down. Split squat, you don't move your legs here. Rather, you don't move your feet here from that position. Now, the next step of that would be just a regular lunge, which in essence is a split squat, except you are stepping into it. So you're going to have to figure out the distance yourself, but it's not going to be too hard if you can split squat. So basically, you want to step. I'm doing this slowly. I'm going to step. As soon as I land, this turns into a split squat. So I do the same movements. Then when I'm coming up, I lean back a little bit so I can push off and then come back here. You notice this movement, this part right here is the exact same as a split squat, about 90-90 with my legs. Lean back, push back up. And the reason we're doing split squats and lunges here is because we want to build the strength and balance on one leg at a time. So each leg is doing something different. They have different loads on them. And that is exactly what's going to happen during the pistol squat. It's going to be very different for each leg, what they're going to be doing. So you got to be strong and balanced in each leg individually. That's pretty much what a pistol squat is going to consist of, strength and balance. So now to build some strength with that balance, I'm going to get the chair here and I'm going to do an elevated split squat. If I fall here, it'd be really funny. And it's going to look like a Bulgarian split squat, basically. Just get something that is about maybe knee height or below. Hook a foot onto that. Feel out the distance, like I said. Then again, about 90-90 with your legs. This is different, of course, but here we go, up and down. Now, lifting up this leg here is going to put more pressure on the front leg. It's going to make this have to work more. It's going to make that stronger. And obviously, you want to switch off so you get some kind of symmetry there. Once you build some strength with that, you can start doing what is called, I guess, a pause pistol squat, where essentially you're doing the movement, but not all the way. So essentially, sticking your leg out and doing a pistol squat, right? But you land on the chair. So you're not doing the whole thing, but you still have to do the descension and you have to do the ascension coming. Cool. You're going to build that strength that way. And a bit of the balance, right? So you're going to have to do that ideally. After a while, maybe add some weight to it to make it more challenging. But that's more getting you used to the movement itself. You're going to have to be strong enough and comfortable enough to go in that squat position with just the one leg. Now, this next one, I've never seen anyone recommend it or show it off as progression to a pistol squat. And I understand why, but I think it could be helpful mentally just to figure out the exact movement, because this is the closest you can get to a pistol squat without actually doing it. But it's not super comfortable. Basically, what you want to do is kind of the similar thing we just did with the pause pistol squat, except we're going to be doing that with foot on the chair instead of the butt on the chair. It'll look like this. Foot here, and you do it like, right? Now, this isn't very comfortable, but this is quite literally the movement you're going to do when you do pistol squat. This is not going to be as comfortable as a pistol squat itself, believe it or not. This doesn't really allow for that. Maybe if this were a little lower, higher or something, it could be a bit more comfortable, but it's not. But mentally, it could be pretty helpful for you getting used to it. Now, the next step is actually doing the pistol squat. So what a lot of people forget is that when you do a pistol squat, a lot of it is balance. Most people who exercise, they have the strength to do a pistol squat, but they don't have the balance. So since most people are shaped just a little bit differently, when you're doing the pistol squat itself, once you're strong enough, you have to find the balance as you're going down. What you can do is a couple things. When you're going down, you can imagine a line directly in front of you, and you want to create some kind of balance or symmetry of what's happening. So if you're going down on your left leg, your right leg is going to be forward, right? Like this. So what you want to do is your only two arms, tilt them a bit to the left, because what's happening is your right leg is sticking out like that. But it depends on how strong you are. Maybe stick the left arm a bit to the left and the right one a bit over the right side. So you have that kind of balance. It depends on how strong your legs are in that particular position. You're going to have to feel out where your arms are, because the arm position is very important in the pistol squat. Believe it or not, squat, your arms are super, super important. Now, it's definitely possible to do a pistol squat with your hands very close to you, but if you keep them out here, you can adjust your balance as you go. So if you're a beginner, I highly recommend you stick your arms out in front of you as much as possible, and keep them near or over the leg that's sticking out, and kind of adjust as you go, and do it a bit slowly. That way you have time to adjust. And one important thing, when you're doing pistol squats, you do not need to go all the way down here, okay? Just like with a regular squat, it's totally okay and preferred if you just go down to where your femur is parallel. Like so, stop here and just come back up. Reason being, when you go all the way down past parallel every single time, your body kind of has to restart the movement in the middle of the exercise. I'm not going to get too deep into the science, but basically, if you do this for 2 years, you will have to go to physical therapy. And I know this from experience. Just keep it up parallel. Don't be a cool guy and go super down, ass to grass every single time. It's not worth it. Doesn't help that much. As long as you keep that in mind, you'll be good. And as long as you keep in mind that the pistol squat is primarily, once you have the strength, primarily it is a balance exercise. As in, there are a lot of men and women who have the strength to do this, but they have no balance whatsoever, so they can't. If you take the time to build up the stabilization and strength in your legs, and do the actual movement slowly while moving and controlling your arms as well as you're controlling your legs, you will nail the pistol squat. They all come together. Slowly. You have to find what works for you. You can do a pistol squat like this. Anyway, just find out what works for you. You got to figure it out, though, in the process of you building that strength and stabilization. So do all of that. Add some weight to some of these exercises to build up your strength, and come back in 6 months. If you haven't hit a pistol squat by then, I'll give you a refund on this free video. Subscribe if you want more, and if not, bye-bye.